This is my road trip through several European countries. I started my journey from Montenegro and drove across Croatia. Both these Balkan countries are beautiful, combining picturesque mountain and sea views. During the whole trip, I will be traveling and sleeping in my Volkswagen Golf. This is the most cost-effective way, and I love cost efficiency. This is how I prepared my car. In order to have comfort while sleeping, I need a level surface below the mattress, so a bit of a matter would work, and I have a leveled bed. If you have an SUV or wagon, probably you could fold the seats and get a leveled platform, but hatchbacks don't have those benefits. You have to adapt to them. Hatchbacks are smaller cars, so they have limited storage space as well, but it is completely doable. I covered my rear windows with panels of black cloth, and while parked, I'm covering the front seats as well, so nobody could peek inside and see that it is a camper with valuable stuff inside. In several European cities, like Milan for example, it is common that criminals break into campers in cars with foreign plates and steal stuff, unfortunately. The first episode of this trip will be about Austria. Let's start with the city of Graz and the view from Castle Hill, lots of red tiled roofs, which is the second largest city in Austria. Among 300,000 people, there are 60,000 students, so it is kind of a college town. Graz is situated on both sides of the River Mur in southeast Austria. This is a green and heavily forested region on the eastern edge of the Alps. The city center has narrow streets as always, but the buildings are well kept and enjoyable to walk around. The city center and the adjacent districts are characterized by the historic residential buildings and churches. In the outer districts, buildings are predominantly of the architectural styles from the second half of the 20th century. I drove to the suburbs to spend the night. Park areas have free and well-maintained public toilets, which are useful for campers. The next day, I parked my car at a free parking lot and used a tram to get to the city center. The Opera House Graz is a historic venue with a rich cultural legacy. Opened in 1899, it's one of the city's premier spots for opera, ballet, and theater. With striking architecture and excellent acoustics, the Opera House continues to offer a diverse range of performances. Trams and bikes are popular means of transport. An extensive public transport network makes Graz an easy city to navigate without a car. The city has a comprehensive bus network, complementing the Graz tram network, which has 6 lines. The Mur River cuts through Graz with energy and speed, shaping the city's landscape and history. Its fast-flowing waters power hydroelectric stations and provide a scenic backdrop to urban life. The Museum of Styrian Armory in Graz holds a large collection of weaponry and armor dating back to the 17th century. It houses a huge number of pieces used to defend Styria. It is like a living military archive from Austria's past. Graz City Hall stands on Hauptplatz, blending historic charm and civic importance. It is the heart of local government and a symbol of city's identity. There are Asian restaurants, kind of all you can eat for a fixed price. I was hungry, so it was cost effective for me. The castle in Graz, Schloss Eggenberg, just outside the center of Graz, is a Baroque masterpiece. Surrounded by serene gardens and home to precious art collections, it offers a glimpse into the grandeur of Austria's aristocratic past. The gardens of Schloss Eggenberg are a peaceful retreat. Strolling paths wind through manicured lawns, ancient trees, and elegant flower beds. One of Schloss Eggenberg's most charming features is its resident peacocks. These elegant birds roam freely through the palace gardens, their vibrant plumage adding color and life to the historic grounds. Beloved by visitors, they have become a living symbol of the estate's beauty. Then I drove to the capital. Vienna is the place where the Western world ends and Eastern Europe starts. Also, it is one of Europe's most elegant and culturally rich cities. It's a place where centuries of art, music, architecture, and philosophy have shaped Austria's identity. Vienna is often called the city of music.
and for good reason. This is the city where Mozart, Beethoven, Haydn, Schubert, and Strauss composed some of their greatest works. You can still hear their legacy echo through Vienna's renowned concert halls like the Vienna Philharmonic or the Vienna State Opera, one of the finest opera houses in the world. Driving through Vienna is like traveling through time. The city streets are a visual journey across centuries, from Gothic cathedrals to Baroque palaces, neoclassical monuments, and bold contemporary structures. But Vienna is never overwhelming. The streets are walkable, the corners inviting, and the sense of place remarkably intact. Even the most imposing structures are softened by the rhythm of windows, the play of shadow, and the gentle transition from stone to sky. As you explore deeper, you begin to notice the layers. One building might echo the precision of classical ideals, while the next bends and curves with the organic flow of a more artistic age. Balconies, carvings, and ironwork, they are not just decorative. They tell stories, hint at eras of revolution, beauty, and philosophical change.
Vienna's residential neighborhoods carry their own charm. Rows of buildings, each slightly different, yet collectively harmonious, create a sense of unity. Arched entryways lead into shared courtyards, where trees grow tall and light filters through windows. Throughout the city, design is deliberate. Public spaces are framed like stage sets, symmetrical, balanced, and framed by trees or fountains. Long sightlines invite the eye forward. Modern structures have emerged not to dominate, but to challenge gently. Clean lines, bold forms, and thoughtful use of glass and steel reflect a contemporary mindset, functional, forward-looking, and respectful of the city's heritage. To explore Vienna, I used park and ride options for several days. This is when you place your car in a multi-story car park outside of the city center. These car parks have transport connections to the center, like subway or bus routes. In Vienna, it was a subway. This is the cathedral in Vienna, gorgeous. People kept themselves busy back then. You know, in Vienna there is a popular thing to taste. It is the cake, Zuckertorte. It is a chocolate cake with a layer of apricot jam. It is okay, but I am not a fan of this taste. Then I visited several museums. I liked them. They are interesting and of high quality. First was the Museum of National History. The museum features a collection of gemstones and meteorites. Also, it has exhibits in zoology, paleontology, anthropology, and botany. The second is the Vienna Museum of Science and Technology. It is about the history of science, technology, and innovation. The exhibits are divided into thematic sections that explore engineering, communication, transportation, energy, and space exploration. Despite its historic charm, Vienna consistently ranks among the most livable cities in the world, praised for its clean streets, excellent public transport, low crime rates, and overall quality of life. Near the Grand Habsburg Palace, you'll find several beautiful parks. They feature stunning rose gardens, classical architecture, ponds, and plenty of green space, perfect for a peaceful walk. The next is the Sisi Museum. This museum is all about Empress Elizabeth of Austria, showing you the scenery of her life. You will see her personal things, beautiful dresses, and private items, so you could learn about Empress Sisi and her time. Then the Museum of Military History, which is housed in an impressive 19th century building. It is about the Austrian military past, from grand armor and weapons to actual vehicles. This is the car of Franz Ferdinand, in which he was assassinated. This sparked World War I. I discovered the magnificent Belvedere Palace and its stunning Baroque gardens. This is the relaxed atmosphere of Sigmund Freud Park, right by the majestic votive church. The Danube River is wide here, and this bridge connects the historic old town with the modern districts. It is a vital link for cars, trams, and U-Bahn lines, offering fantastic views of the city. In Vienna's new city, sleek skyscrapers stand alongside innovative residential areas, green spaces, and cutting-edge research facilities, showcasing Vienna's urban development. This was my home base for several days. It was safe but quite cold during the nights. I dealt with about 5 degrees Celsius or 14 Fahrenheit. It was cost effective and I like it. And then I drove to the town of Linz. Welcome to Linz, a lively city right by the big Danube River. For hundreds of years, Linz has been an important spot. It started as a Roman fort, and its perfect place on a bend in the Danube made it key for trading and protecting the area. As we drive, You will quickly see why Linz is more than just Austria's third biggest city. It's a place with a special feel. Look at the buildings. You will see the fancy style of the Baroque period, with detailed designs from the 17th and 18th centuries. These older buildings stand next to simpler, newer ones, and the clean lines of modern architecture. These old buildings are beautiful, showing a time when architecture was about display and grandeur. They give the city center a strong sense of history. Even with the busy traffic and modern life, the feeling of the past is very present in these streets. The streets are easy to move through. The city feels alive and progressive. Linz used to be famous for making steel, but it has changed a lot. Linz is known for its focus on media arts and innovation. Linz has nice green spaces and a lively art scene, making the city feel modern and dynamic. Linz doesn't have just one look, it's a mix of different styles. The old and the new stand together, showing a city that respects its history while moving forward. Driving through Linz, you get a feel for a city that works hard and embraces creativity. Every street offers a unique view of this Austrian city. Linz also has impressive buildings. The huge Marine Dome on New Cathedral is Austria's biggest church, with its tall, fancy spires reaching to the sky. The next city is Salzburg, a city of stunning architecture and known as the birthplace of Mozart. The history of Salzburg is deeply tied to the powerful prince archbishops who ruled the city. In the 17th and 18th centuries, they transformed Salzburg into a stunning canonical center, drawing inspiration from Rome. As we move through the streets, the scenery is dominated by the majestic Alps, creating a dramatic backdrop to the elegant city below. The architecture is grand and ornate, reflecting a time when the city was a center of great power and artistry. Driving here offers a unique perspective on the layers of history. We move from streets lined with medieval and Renaissance structures to broad avenues that show off the city's Baroque heritage. The elegance of the architecture is a key part of the experience. Beyond the historic center, the city's layout perfectly integrates with the natural landscape. The river flows through the center, offering scenic views. The presence of the mountains adds to the city's unique atmosphere, giving it a sense of drama and scale. You will encounter the crowds of people who have come here for the atmosphere and the history. A major focus for many is the legacy of Salzburg's most famous son. This bright yellow building is the place where Mozart lived. Tourists gather around constantly, and this is the oldest monastery in the German-speaking area. In the upper right part of the screen, there is the High Salzburg fortress. This is one of the views from this medieval fortress. The next country is Switzerland. This will be the second episode of this trip.